This is one of my favorite topics. It's the whole idea of who's more complicated, men or women. Men always say that women are complicated and that men are super simple. Every guy I've met has said that to me, and I can't tell you how many times I've been at a banquet or a luncheon or a business meeting somewhere, and the introductions go around the table. What do you do for a living? When it's my turn, I'd say, I used to be a professor. The next question, of course, would be, what did you teach? Then I'd run through the list of courses I taught at Azusa Pacific University and Biola University. Introduction to Psychology, Human Growth and Development, Personal and Social Adjustment, Theories of Personality, Seminar in Therapeutic Techniques. I'd always save this one for the last. Oh, and I also taught a course on the psychology of men. The men would invariably respond, well, that must be a really short course. How could you have enough material to cover an entire semester studying the psychology of men? Then they'd chuckle with great confidence. I understand their response. They've been taught to believe that they're really simple. But when it comes to women being able to understand men, that whole theory falls apart. Women don't get men at all. And men are the last people we can go to and say, what's going on with you? Help me understand what you need. Because you don't have an answer, except that you're simple. On the other hand, women can be explained by 7 principles. Yes, we are simple. We talk in a girl code that makes us sound incredibly complicated. You just need a framework to decode our language. Then understanding us becomes incredibly simple. When I lived in Southern California, I taught all-day seminars for couples. The men would join me in the morning for breakfast. Then we'd talk about women for about an hour. The guys were eager to learn and very open in expressing their confusion about their wives' behavior. They went home with a half sheet of paper with a full explanation. Then the women came for lunch, and I spent the entire afternoon trying to explain men. Most of the women doubted me. Some leaned their heads to one side. Others shook their head in disbelief. They left with an entire notebook and more questions. Shortly thereafter, I published that spiral notebook as a paperback on Amazon. A number of women became great fans. I was the first person they had met who could explain men. Some of them carried extra copies of my book with them to distribute whenever the opportunity arose. One woman saw a couple arguing in the church parking lot, walked over, and handed them my book. My shock at her audacity was probably only outdone by the couple's response. What could they do? They said thanks. More importantly, they stopped arguing. I hope it helped. Mary, another fan and former student, sent me this note. Gave your book to a friend on the train today who's been going through some rough times. Made her cry. Lord willing, another family will experience healing through your work. If you'd like to know more about how men and women operate, I invite you to download my 1-page cheat sheet for each at drdebbysmith.com. And remember, I'm here to help.